Metro Exodus outsells Metro Last Light by 2.5 times more on the Epic Game Store than the previous one did on Steam. So it's very interesting. I actually have some quotes here from Tim Sweeney, the CEO of Epic. Two fairly long quotes. So the first one, he said, "Changing the way that games are sold is a big disruption to everybody. I understand that, but this is a necessary step forward for the games industry if we want to enable developers to invest in building better games, and if we want the savings to ultimately be passed on to gamers in the form of better prices." And the next quote, "Ultimately, I think this is about making the industry a better place, starting with the terms available for developers. I understand gamers don't see that. They don't see the hardship of making a payroll and seeing the store suck out 30% of the revenue from it. It can be jarring to see the industry is changing in ways that are typically invisible to us as gamers." I think those are two fantastic quotes that I think like need to be shown to people more often, because like my main point is that like Epic gets some deserved hate for certain things, with like the exclusivity deals, like being owned by Tencent a little bit, but like at the end of the day, like the 88-12 split for developers versus Steam 70-30 split is really important, and sometimes like the most important thing for developers to be able to put the time into games to make them great. And like I know that like people want to criticize Epic and they love Steam, but like I think that more if Metro sold 2.5 times more, like it tells me that it's more about the games and not about the platform that they're being sold on, right? So like if Steam doesn't get their act together and make a better split for developers, I see more developers and publishers moving to Epic.
I agree. That's well, something that's really been bothering me about this is this like this hate for Epic. And personally, I don't find it that big of an issue that them being like a Tencent company and them trying to compete like in this marketplace or anything like that. But I don't understand why people love Steam so much and hate Epic so much just for these like slight little reasons. And I feel like I see this more than I should. If it just feels like disproportionate, like overrepresented. That where is this hate coming from? I should say, like what's so bad about this company at all, or what's so good about Steam that like they're put on this pedestal that they're perfect, and why would you ever buy from somebody else? It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me from that point of view. Sorry to get a little off topic here, but this has really been like
No, I think that's super on topic.
burning me up.
That's super on topic.
Yeah, it's on topic. I think that humans are beasts.
They like to
beasts of
complain.
habit.
Humans like to complain. That's
Yeah,
literally-
especially
people love
especially
bitching.
about change. I mean, not
absolutely.
us,
Yeah.
but not us,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, right.
not us with Stadia, but everybody else.
They're creatures of habit, man. And like when you use something so long and it's like that's all you've been using, it's just weird to switch over, and people are like gonna throw a fit about it, and that's what we're experiencing right now. What I don't get is like, it's weird that we're not hearing anything from Valve, right? There's no answer, right? It's just all we're seeing is just Epic like coming out with these things and being like, it seems like they're in the right, and Valve is just silent, so I don't know if that's a good thing or if it's a bad thing. It may be. I think that they're gonna give a better split here. They have to if they want to combat this, right? They're gonna be phased out, I think, eventually.
I think so. I think I actually just saw a report that like 20 new titles all went over to Epic or something, and they had the Division 2 on there as well, and I'm pretty sure I keep hearing that game is like awesome. So like it's selling like crazy.
Yeah. I do want to say, Tim Sweeney and Epic, they're using that Metro Exodus outsells Metro Last Light. It's kind of like a talking point, and I just see it everywhere, that 2.5 number, 2.5 times.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's being used a little bit, you know what I mean? Like, I
sure, but it is impressive. I mean, yeah, of course.
It's definitely impressive.
Of course, Metro Last Light, like its success built Metro Exodus up.
Exactly.
And I get that.
Say.
Hey, I get that. But still, like with all this backlash from people, like that was supposed to not be the narrative, but it still happened anyway. So again, like it seems to me like a good game doesn't really matter where it's sold. It's going to sell anyway. And if you're getting 18% more on Epic, just go to Epic.
Yep. That's the thing, man. That's what
It doesn't
you
matter.
basically-
Yeah, it doesn't
you summed
matter.
it up for me.
You make more money. Who cares?
Mm-hmm. And I'm on Team Steam. So
why?
It's just, I guess I kind of like that they're being quiet about this, because I know that something's going to happen, and I feel like they're going to come back. They have too much to lose. They're going to come back, and they're going to give them a better split, or they're going to do something here. Mark my word. Ben Stradamus speaks again.
I mean,
you might be right.
88-12 seems
Insane.
seems high to me. 70-30 seems just fucking criminal. Does that not seem of the revenue for the sales?
Yeah.
It's the platform. They literally don't
Yeah.
do anything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they give you visibility.
But I mean, 30% of your
Yeah, I agree.
sales visibility. I mean,
agree.
that's some kind of deal that they struck in
any other industry. I mean, like I'm an accountant, right? And like I work with a lot of companies, and I get to see like a lot of revenue splits. And like Dave, I know you are as well. Like a lot of revenue splits in other industries that I see like 5%. Stuff like that, 5%,
Yeah.
like 8%, 30%. Yeah, I mean,
Insane.
it's unheard
Insane.
of.
Yeah.
it looks ridiculous, and it's a monopoly, essentially what it was. Like, nobody was there to compete with them
Yep.
for the longest time, and it's definitely why you're seeing so many of the bigger game studios move to their own marketplaces, which honestly is kind of annoying. I'm not a fan of especially like the shitty EA Origin thing, and
Mhm.
I can't think of the other ones off the top of my head, but they're not good.
Yeah,
You know, I'll give Steam like a thumbs up there. Like, they're easy to use, but they're not like 70-30, you know, easy to
No.
use for companies. And I think that really hurts. That hurts us
Oh
in the
yeah.
long run. I mean, that's what, you know, Tim Sweeney's saying. Like,
You guys are speaking
hurting
too
us.
sweetly about Tim Sweeney here.
I don't think
guys.
well,
he's actually looking out for us, but
he's right. Like
He's
everybody's
right in a way.
everybody's jumping on Epic about the exclusivity deals and that it's a bad practice of the industry. And I mean, maybe they're right. I get it. But at the same time, you can't win business from Steam when they have all of the market unless you do exclusivity deals. So like, sorry, but like that's just the way that it's got to be for a little bit so that they can get some of the business. I understand why they're doing it.
Yeah.
And it might suck, but like it was a good practice. It's working. So
Yeah.
you can't blame them.
Yeah, I agree. It's got to happen. And it does. These revenue splits just seem insane to me, man. That like all they it's just a place where you can, you know, download your video games. Know, essentially buy and download your video games. It's like,
I'm kind of concerned, honestly, for Steam. Like, could you imagine what that would do to like your revenue? Like, even if you try to match what the Epic Store is doing, going from 70-30 to 88-12. I mean, what?
Yeah.
Just thinking about that, like, wouldn't that just totally cripple the company?
Yeah, I think it would.
Seems like a pretty wild.
Well, and with Stadia,
Wild,
like
wild
they
thing.
might even lose like more. You know, they're probably gonna lose more sales. So kind of crazy.
yeah.